What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Just Kids, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's jump into more of your comments, and there's some good ones in here, at least from what I was able to gather and just kind of scanning through. So, first one coming in from Calbright saying, and this is in response to the Cinder needs to be a more long-term plan video for Splinterlands, which is for people who didn't watch that, I was essentially just saying Cinder needs to be part of like every kind of new card design outside of core sets. So Calbright says, I've been saying this for years. We need sets that cost cards to obtain. Maybe keep main sets as they are now to not increase the income or wall. So I agree with that. But mini sets, promos, anything over and beyond standard release sets should require us to be removing the fat from card inventories to obtain them. Great video. Oh, and just a thought. Hopefully we never get to the point where Cinder is issued as rewards or any other vehicle other than pure card burns. If Cinder ever gets issued as a reward or in, reward chest, that would be awful. As it is, I have an issue with items that can be crafted on land being issued in rewards. So such as like the unbinding scrolls. That's something that I don't have much lobbying power, but I would lobby against. I would lobby against that heavily. I am lobbying against that heavily. And if Cinder ever got into the mix there, that would suck, right? Because we want land to power the game. That's kind of how I view things. But I'll say that thought for a separate video. All right, Snowball says, think your sound levels are better now. I never considered the price of DEC for the LPs, but I do expect it to slowly return to peg. I've been slowly building a position in the LPs, but only have a few bucks in there. Yeah, dude, same for me. I mean, I think I'm like less than $10 across all the LPs. The grain one is the most at $7.17. And I know that because I just looked at it this morning. But thank you for letting me know about the sound. Glad to hear it's not blowing out some of your speakers now. So Key says, you should totally be building LP positions. I saw this comment come in, Keegs, and I just got to say, okay, you've convinced me. I do think that I need to be adding slowly and steadily over time, even if it's just like a couple of DEC worth of LP positions per day. It's a good thing to add. I was just looking at for example, the wood DEC pool is like 33%. Even the grain LP, right? The grain LP is at like 18%. If you remember, that was like at 12-13% before, and APR. But that was, and again, this is like, at least my assumption, maybe I'm not understanding this right, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's irrespective of the price, right? It doesn't matter what the prices are. It's just volume based on the total value. And so obviously the prices are going to change, but if that volume is spiking, and we're seeing a spike in volume right now, so granted, this might just be a short-term thing, I would say it's still well worth it to have a position in there. So I don't know. Thank you for convincing me, Keeks. All right, so Pomp says, pulling in capital from where? So this is what I was saying. Should I jump into land liquidity pools? Pulling in capital from where? By selling 3 spellbooks a day from pack sales priced in DEC, 30,000 a week, 99% of that, which is a DEC that the team has to eventually sell to pay expenses. Well, so keep in mind, just to correct one thing here real quick, $30,000 a week that comes in as credits is paid out on the back end in DEC. So the team is not selling that, but to your point, they are having to give away more DEC than is required at PEG, right? So they're having to give, I don't know what, like 50, like let's just say it's at 67% of PEG. It's not, it's lower than that, but they're having to give like 50% additional DEC because DEC is lower. So yeah, I mean, it's not great, right? Like we want DEC back at PEG as quickly as possible. And I hope that the team is focusing on ways in which to do that. But I'll keep harping on it in every one of these videos until we find a way for the team to make money or to get money from the DAO in the synergistic partnership that is not in DEC. We're going to be in trouble, right? Like what we should be doing ideally is that the DAO is earning something else, whether that's Hive, whether that's Ethereum, whether that's BNB, whatever it is that the DAO is earning, or USDC, that should be paid to the team, at which point the team sells that non-related token and then strengthens its own token of DEC. right? That's what we should be doing. They should be going and buying DEC with one of these other tokens, which means the DAO really needs to diversify and focus in. But that's a topic of a different video. And now I'm getting a bunch of ideas, and I don't want this to be too super wide ranging. Actually, I guess it's supposed to be super wide ranging, right? You guys bring the questions, and I have no idea what you're going to ask. So it is all over the place. But yes, the DAO really needs to focus, and I would say that's probably going to be one of my big things for focus on 2026 with the DAO. I'm getting a couple of different video ideas here. This is why I love doing these questions. You guys always make me think even more about the game that I think about daily. So thank you for that, Pomp. All right, Ryan Flesh saying, Lorcas is my favorite to listen to. He shouldn't change one bit. All right, well, I will let Lorcas know he has a fan in you. What the pig says, do Bulldog? Haha. Okay, I don't know what that's in reference to. Because this was another answering comments video. Let me know what you meant by do Bulldog without it sounding like without sounding inappropriate. All right, Rudy is too loud says, I got a long shot card too, but put that in quotes. Did you? I haven't looked into it, but what little I understand of long shot card, it does seem like it is designed to give more to the people with the most. We keep making the same mistake over and over. This definitely isn't a democratizing addition. Okay. So I saw this comment yesterday, and I've had a little time to think about it, and I have to say that I think I fundamentally disagree with you here, Rudy, respectfully, right? So this is a terrible example, or at least it's not fully relevant, but to me it makes the most sense to convey this point, right? When you think about things as an investment, right? And again, not financial advice. I'm not talking about investing in Splinterlands. But if you think about it from an investment standpoint, let's say in Apple, and I always use Apple stock, right? The people who have more Apple stock get more dividends when the company pays dividends out, right? And we get it in proportion of how much we own of Apple stock. So if you own one share of Apple stock, you're not going to be getting as much as Berkshire Hathaway's like ownings, like their allotment of Apple stock, right? Like, nor should you, and nor should you have like an equal amount of say, right? Like when it comes to like share voting and all that. So I'm trying to understand this idea, and where this brought me down was something that Aggie would always say when he was CEO, and I found it kind of irritating because it felt. Like Aggie would consistently harp on it, and this is not a dig at Aggie, right? But Aggie would consistently harp on it, and now I actually have to come around and like side with Aggie on this, in the sense that I've been here for 4 years, and I see what he saw now, right? I've been here for 4+ years, and a lot of the comments just come in and say, "I want more for less," or "I want more for nothing." And I don't think that there's any sustainable way for the game to work or any project to work if it's done like that. Now, maybe I'm not understanding your comment correctly, right? Maybe there's something else that you want to, maybe there's a different thing that you're trying to say. But if you're talking about democratizing, we are like, access is democratized. You can go and buy the cards you need, buy the SPS you need, and go and like, earn these cards, earn these entries, and earn these rewards. Nobody's stopping you from that. And I think that's kind of like the beauty of crypto. And maybe I'm mixing some things up here, but if you understand my point, like I don't see that. I'm trying to fully understand where you're coming in from. And, without getting into the political side of this, of like, what it sounds like you're saying is you want socialism rather than, and trying to define it as democracy. And I'm not going to get into all that, but it's like, I want to better understand your argument here, because obviously there's a pain point that you have, and I'm trying to deliver the counter argument to what I believe you're saying. But if I'm misunderstanding it, please let me know. But yeah, I appreciate the comment, Rudy. All right, so X-Death by Reaper says, more like Archon polluted, am I right? Yeah, Summoners was just, we've just been so used to it. I wouldn't mind being called an Archon Aftersound. All right, Yeet says Dubstep Racing, so thank you for that. International Travel Channel, thank you for the comment. Snowball says, I think some people are deliberately avoiding filling bids for bot farms. My bids for both accounts at 0.001 got filled within a few days recently. Interesting. Okay, Good to know. I didn't realize. I mean, I did check this morning, and all the .002 bids are gone. So somebody did come in and fill those. And maybe the video just made people realize that like you can get double the amount for your for your SPS now. I don't know what it is, but the fact that we're starting to see that means there is demand, right? And my guess is that until we get to a point where obviously it's just sitting there, we might still be a while from that, sitting there indefinitely. All right, so Z Laurel says, I like this 640. What did I say? It's 640. Are Rebellion cards worth unbinding in that video? You know what, Z Laurel, I'll go through and see what you were referencing at the 640 timestamp, and then I'll come back to this comment. So I won't mark it as read yet. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're already at 10 minutes. Okay, let's wrap this up with two more here from Joffrey, Calbright, and then the response from Snowball. So Joffrey says, the Modern Champion League bots are desperate. A point Tails brought up 2 weeks ago and you glossed over and ignored. Tell me one bot Splinterlands banned. You're such a shill. This little BS game is a scam. All right, Joffrey. All right. I didn't mean to gloss over it. Was this something that we talked about during the last Triad live stream? I'll shoot Tails a message and see what he meant by that. Or I don't know if there's something else that you're referencing here. Let me know where you think the game is a scam and about any bots that have not. Wait, a point Tails brought up. Tell me one bot Splinterlands banned. I don't know. Here's the thing. Do you think Splinterlands should announce if they ban bots? Like if there's specific accounts that are banned? Should there be like a mass announcement to shame people? I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. It's like if they ban someone, I feel like that's like I don't need to know about that. But it feels like you want proof. So maybe that is something, you know what? This is why we have town halls, Joffrey. This is something you should ask on the next town hall. You should ask for A, how many accounts have been banned, and B, a list of them so that I can make a video and we can publicly shame them together. All right. Calbright says, can you do the Cinder video soon, please? Fully support any initiative that includes burning cards, especially if we can burn cards for consumables. That would be perfect. Existing volumes. Okay, so I think I did that already, and I think you already responded to that, so we're on the same page. Snowball says, I wouldn't want to take away from After Sound's content, but Gathering the Magic has already done some good videos regarding Cinder. Yeah, guys, go check out Gathering the Magic's videos, and Snowballs, you don't have to say that you're taking away from my content. There's a ton of other fantastic content creators that are out there. I highly recommend that you go and listen to them, watch them, support their content. I know that time is a zero-sum game, so anytime you're watching somebody else's content, you're not watching mine, but I think everything here strengthens the economy, and there's way smarter people with different perspectives and better insights than me around the ecosystem, and I think together, collectively, we do make this community better and the project overall better. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.